traditionally an important area for understanding human behavior. So we are talking about organizational behavior. For human behavior, lot of studies and research on the development of personality, traditionally an important area for understanding human behavior. The human being consists of both physiological and psychological interacting part. Physiological and the psychological treating பண்றாங்க. What is the psychological thing? So ஒரு மனுஷனுக்கும் physiological as well psychological part. Therefore heredity, family, சார் அவர் வந்து ராஜ பரம்பரை, அவர் வந்து பெரிய படிச்சவங்க பரம்பரையில இருந்து வந்தது, அந்த பரம்பரையில இருந்து வந்த ஒரு ஹெரிடிட்டரி. என்வாயர்மெண்ட், சார் அவர் வளர்ந்த சூழ்நிலை, அவர் இருந்த இடம், பெரிய பெரிய பணக்காரங்க எல்லாம் இருந்த இடம், அவர் இருந்த இடம், இந்த இதுல இருந்து வந்தவர், அவர் அந்த பர்டிகுலர் அட்மாஸ்பியர்ல இருந்து வந்தவர், அவருடைய என்வாயர்மெண்ட், அவங்க ஃபேமிலி எல்லாம் அமெரிக்கால இருந்தாங்க. மெச்சூரேஷன், சேம் பிஹேவியர் இருக்கும் பொழுது as you move and the ages மேல மேல பண்ணு, your maturity differs. You don't behave like how you were behaving when you are in the 10th standard. You don't behave how you behave when you are in the 10th. 10 வயசுல எப்படி இருந்தாலும் அதே மாதிரி you cannot behave when you are in the 20th. And learning contribute to human personality. Heredity, உன்னுடைய family background, heredity, environment, நீ வாழ்ந்த சூழ்நிலை, maturation, உன் ஏஜ் ஆகும்போது, and what you learning contribute to human personality. The study personality can be divided into two separate but two closely applied approaches. One attempt to identify specific physiological and psychological stage theory that occur in the development of human personality, and other try to identify the importance of determinants of personality. இதெல்லாம் தான் personalityன்றது determinants பண்றது, அதுக்கு பேர் search. So stage, search, ரெண்டு aspect divided into the study of personality can be divided into two separate but closely allied approaches. One attempt to identify the physiological and psychological stages over stage போறது, ரெண்டாவது என்ன, what are the determinants of personality, search. So approaches to personality: stage, search. Stage ila identify specific physiological and psychological stages, mostly theoretical. Stage theory is mostly theoretical in nature. Search, identify the important determinants of personality, empirical in nature. Empirical na kankuda paakalam, reality. இது ஸ்டேஜ் தியரி theoretical stage approach. சர்ச் அப்ரோச் வந்து எம்பிரிக்கல்னா நியூமெரிக்கல்னா கண்கூடா ரியாலிட்டியா பாக்குறது வந்து சர்ச் தியரி. ஸ்டேஜ் தியரி ஆஃப் பர்சனாலிட்டி, ஸ்டேஜ் தியரி ஆஃப் பர்சனாலிட்டியில வந்து there are many well-known stage theories of personality. Most deal with psychological development rather than directly with personality development. Psychological development rather than with the personality development. There is little agreement among the psychologists about exact stages. Their argument is that personality development consists of continuous process, and the sequence the sequence is based solely in learning opportunities available. Okay. Four major stage theories of personality development. Freudian stage theories. First stage is called Freudian stages. Second, neo-Freudian stages. Freudian stages, neo-Freudian stages. Adult life stages. Immaturity to maturity stages. These are Freudian. What is Freudian stages? இவர் பேர் தான் Sigmund Freudian. Sigmund Freudian was a pioneering stage theorist. Although the analysis of stages of development can be traced back to ancient Greek, it was Freud who first formulated a meaningful statement. He felt a child progresses through 4 identified stages of psychosexual development. For child, different 4 identified stages. One is oral, anal, phallic or oidipal, genital. There are 4 stages. He believed that these stages to be the main driving forces behind personality. Second, oral stages. Oral stage is first psychosexual development. Psychosexual development stage where the mouth of the infant in his or her primary erogenous zone. Period 0 to 18 months. That's the oral stage. Then you have anal stage. Child's main concerns are with the process of elimination. Period is 18 months to 3 years. Significant for the child's later development because the acquisition of bowel control is presumed to be connected to other forms of self-control such as cleanliness and orderliness within 3 years. Phallic or oidipal stage, children become aware of their bodies. Gender differences between the boy and girl. Physical difference between the male and female. Genital. Final stage of human psychosexual development, considered as the highest level of maturity, begins around the time that puberty starts. During the genital stage, the ego and superego becomes more developed. This allows the individual to have more realistic way of thinking and establish an assortment of social relationship apart from the family. Family, there are an assortment of social relationship. What are the other social relationship? In this stage, adult becomes capable of 2 signs of maturation, work and love in this stage. What are the criticism in the stages? Today, Freudian stage often seems silly or even bizarre. Modern psychologists are not in agreement with the Freud's stage theory of stages. However, they do give credit to Freud for providing some valuable insight and for initiating the meaningful study of the personality. Personality development பத்தி படிக்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு காத்தாடி ஓடுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி தூக்கி விடுறாங்க பாரு காத்தாடி. அது மாதிரி ஒரு இனிஷியல் வேல்யூபிள் இன்சைட் எல்லாம் கொடுத்தது Freudian தான். So these are what are the main criticism? But why they disagree? Terminology used. Freud's terminology and the degree to which he carried the stages rather than on the possibility that he was totally wrong. Freud, without having at hand a suitable learning concept and terms for personality development, relied on his own preference for a body language. He preferred oral rather than dependent. Dependent என்ற வார்த்தை யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம், அது போல oral என்ற வார்த்தை போட்டார். Anal rather than compulsive. Genital rather than mature. Unfortunately, when one assesses Freud's contribution to the understanding of personality development, the sexually oriented term seemed to overshadow the underlying concept. In underlying concept என்ன சொல்லியிருக்கிறாரோ அதை விட்டு sexually oriented terms தான் மேல இருந்த மாதிரி own it. That's why they disagree. But he is the one first for initial analysis of personality development. Neo-Freudian stages. Neo-Freudian stages by Erikson felt that relatively more attention should be given to the social rather than the sexual adaptation of the individual. He identifies 8 psychological stages as shown below. Mouth and senses, 0 to 1 age. Eliminative organs and the system of muscles in the body, 1 to 2 age. Locomotion and genitals, movements, 3 to 5. Latency, 6 years to puberty. Puberty and adolescence, early adulthood, young and middle adulthood, and mature adulthood. Young and middle adulthood, mature and adulthood. Erikson asserted within each of the stages listed in the table, and that in order for the person to have a normal full personality, each crisis should be solved. For the study of organizational behavior, the most relevant stage is the young and middle age adult. Organizational behavior ki end age or the young and middle adulthood, because they are the workforce as the typical organization participants in the midst of their productive years are in this stage. யாரெல்லாம் workforce-ல யார் இருப்பாங்க? Workforce-ல இருக்கிறவங்க young and middle aged adult as the typical organizational participants in the midst of their productive years in this stage. ஒரு young people work பண்ற productive years, earn பண்ற productive years எதுனா young and adult middle age. According to Erikson, young and middle aged adults who solve their psychological crisis by being productive will develop their own personalities. That's what I'm telling young people. Those young people I'm telling, when you are in the organization, you will get into a lot of insultation. My boss used to tell me, every insultation, you take it as a memento. Over the insultation, you take it as a memento. Okay. Now, okay. The employing organization should permit and take advantage of this productivity. More recently, specific attention has been given to adult life stages and their impact on career development and planning. Adult life stages. The work of Daniel Levinson on adult stages has received considerable attention. He believes life structure evolves through a relatively orderly sequence throughout the adult years, and unlike other stage theories that are event-oriented, for example, marriage, parenthood, or retirement, they are all age-based. Life structure evolves relatively orderly sequence throughout the life adult years, unlike other stage theories that are event-oriented. Event-oriented, marriage, parenthood, retirement, they're all age. Event-oriented is age-based. In particular, he believes that there is a little variability, maximum of 2-3 years, in 4 identifiable stable periods. 1 to 4 adult. Entering the adulthood, 22 to 28 years. Settling down, 33-40 years. அதான் ரஜினி ஒரு பாட்டுல படம், நம்முடைய வாழ்க்கையை 8 பிரிச்சுக்கணும். 40வது வயசுல நீ எல்லா துட்டையும் சம்பாதிச்சாகணும். Entering the middle adulthood, 40 to 45. Culmination of the middle adulthood, 60 years, your middle adulthood. That's why at the age of 60, people retire. He identifies 4 transitional periods. Transition. Age 30 transition, 28 to 33. Midlife transition, 40 to 45. Age 50 transition, 50 to 55. Late adult transition, 60 to 65. It has lot of intuitive and popular appeal. Intuitive na ஒவ்வொரு மனுஷனுக்குள்ளயும் இருக்கிற அவங்க ஓன் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங். தொட்டால் சுடுவது நெருப்பு என்று சுட்டதான் தெரியும். ஐயோ நெருப்பு சுடுன்னு எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும். That is what intuition. You have your own understanding of thing called, everyone has got their own intuition. The research, as in the previous stage, is quite mixed one. Perception. What is perception? The perception is a small example. I used to go for walking every day. அந்த மாதிரி வாக்கிங் போகும்போது அந்த கிரவுண்ட்ல ஒரு 8 போட்டிருப்பாங்க. அந்த 8ல நம்ம போயிட்டு ஒரு இந்த சைடு ஒரு 8, இந்த சைடு ஒரு 10, அந்த சைடு ஒரு 10 போவோம். My doctor, I know a doctor, child specialist, where we used to show it to my son, சின்ன குழந்தையா இருக்கும்போது இப்ப என் பேரனை காமிச்சிட்டு இருக்கிறாரு. அவர் எக்ஸாக்டா நான் அந்த 8 போடும்போது தான் உள்ள வருவாரு. அவர் நினைச்சுன்னு இருக்காரு நம்ம வந்து அந்த 8 மட்டும் தான் போட்டுன்னு இருக்கேன். ஆக்சுவலி நான் 4 ரவுண்டு வாக்கிங் போயிட்டு 5வது தான் இந்த 8 போடுற இது பண்ணிட்டு. That is his perception. அவர் நம்பிட்டு இருக்கு. Perception is very dangerous. Because ஒவ்வொரு ஆர்கனைசேஷன்லயும் நீங்க அது பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க மாட்டீங்க. ஆனா இவன் தான் பண்ணியிருப்பான் சார், அன்னைக்கு போகும்போது இவன் தான் சார் பேசின்னு இருந்தா அவரோட, நான் நினைக்கிறேன் இவன் தான் நம்மளுக்கு அகேன்ஸ்டா ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கிறான். பர்செப்ஷன். இன்னொரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். என்னுடைய டைரக்டர், அவருக்கு நிறைய மொட்டை கடுதாசி வரும். அவர் பேர்ல மொட்டை கடுதாசி வந்து அவருக்கு அகேன்ஸ்டா மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்டுக்கு வரும். மேனேஜ் சிம்பிளி அவருக்கு அந்த மெயில ஃபார்வர்ட் பண்ணி விட்டுருவாங்க. அவருக்கு எனக்கும் கொஞ்சம் மிஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் டைரக்டர் வேலை. நான் மொட்டை கடுதாசி எல்லாம் எழுத மாட்டேன். வாட் எவர் ஐ வாண்ட் டு டாக், ஐ டாக் ஸ்ட்ரைட் அவே இன் தி ஃபேஸ். பட் டைரக்டர் நினைச்சுன்னு இருக்காரு, நான் தான் அந்த மொட்டை கடுதாசி எல்லாம் அனுப்பிச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன். So finally, when he was about to leave, he was telling, you people are very light. See, Gangadharan, he was writing lot of letters about me. Somebody came and told me, sir, நீங்க தான் எழுதுன்னு சொல்லி நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கிறேன். நான் போயிட்டு, so நான் தான் எழுதுன்னு நினைச்சிட்டு எனக்கு அகேன்ஸ்டா அவர் இவ்வளோ நாளா whatever the decisions he has taken against me, for which I have not done, எனக்கு அகேன்ஸ்டா அவர் வந்து எதுலயும் இன்க்ரிமெண்ட்லயோ அதுலயோ ஜாப் கொடுக்கல எல்லாத்துலயும் he is doing things for which I am not responsible. That is what's called perception. ஒருத்தர் வந்து மத்த நினைச்சு ஏதோ நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்குது, மத்தவங்களை பத்தி தவறா நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கு பேர் தான் பர்செப்ஷன். அப்புறம் நான் அவர்கிட்ட போய், சார் நான் சொல்றதுன்னா உங்க ஸ்ட்ரெயிட்டாவே சொல்லிட்டு இருப்பேன், நீங்க நான் தான் அந்த மாதிரி லெட்டர் அமைச்சுக்கிறேன்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கீங்க, இது தெரியாம நீங்க பாட்டு எனக்கு அகேன்ஸ்டா எவ்வளவு பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. நான் மை ஃபைட் ஆஃப் நோன் தட் நீங்க எனக்கு கூப்பிட்டு இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணிருக்கேன்னா ப்ராப்ளம் would have been solved. That is, perception is very, very dangerous. Now let's look, what is this perception? Perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret the sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. However, what we perceive can substantially different from objective reality. நீ என்ன நினைக்கிற அது வந்து ரியாலிட்டியில பார்த்தா அது டிஃப்ரெண்டா டோட்டலி வேற ஏதாவது இருக்கும். பட் எல்லாரும் சார் அன்னைக்கு வந்து நடக்கும் போது இவர் உள்ள போயிட்டு வந்தார் சார், மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இவர் தான் ஏதோ நம்மளை பத்தி சொல்லியிருப்பாரு, ட்ரேட் யூனியன்ஸ் நம்மளை பத்தி பொய்யா சொல்லியிருக்கிறார், நம்மளை பத்தி மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இது சொல்லியிருக்கிறார். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வாட் இஸ் கால்ட் பர்செப்ஷன். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், all employees in a firm may view it as a great place to work. Favorable working condition, interesting job assignments, good pay, excellent benefits, understanding and responsible management. But as most of us know, It is very unusual to find such agreement. மத்தவங்க நினைச்சுப்போம் அவருங்க இக்கரைக்கு அக்கறை பச்சை, அவங்க நல்லா ஒர்க்கிங், அங்க இருக்கிற சிச்சுவேஷன் என்னன்னு தெரியாது. For example, all employees in a firm may be few that it has a great place to work, favorable working condition, interesting job assignments, good pay, excellent benefits, understanding and responsible management. But as most of us, it is very unusual to find such agreement. So factors that influence perception. Factors in the perceiver. Factors perception. Factors in the target. Factors in the situation, time, work setting, social setting. Factors in the perceiver. யார் நினைக்கிறாங்களோ அவங்களோட attitudes, அவங்களோட motives, interest, experience, expectation. Factors in the target are novelty, motion, sounds, size, background, proximity, and similarity. Interpretation is heavily influenced by personal characters. Personal characteristics, attitudes, personality, motives, interest, past experience, and expectation. For instance, we perceive police officers to be authoritative or young people to be lazy regardless of their traits. அவனா இப்போ இருக்கிற பசங்களாம் ரொம்ப சோம்பேறிங்க சார். யங் பீப்புள் ஆர் ஆல்சோ. போலீஸ்னாலே ரொம்ப இது அத்தாரிட்டேட்டிவா இருக்கும். என்ன என்ன மதிப்பில்லாம மரியாதை இல்லாம பேசுவாங்க. அது மாதிரி தான் காமிக்கிறாங்க. There are many good police officers we can see. They extract information from people. I have seen extract information from the criminal. ஒரு அடி கூட அடிக்காம அழகா உங்ககிட்ட பேசியே எல்லா இன்ஃபர்மேஷன். So that's what, for instance, we perceive police officers to be authoritative or young people to be lazy regardless of their traits. Characteristics of the target also affect perception. Loud people are likely to be noticed in a group than quiet ones. Usually it's called boisterousness. No? I'm sorry if there are any North Indian, please don't mistake me. அவங்க பேசும்போது ஒரே ஒரு நாய்ஸியா தான், ஒரு நாய்ஸியா தான் இருக்கும். அதனால நான் சொன்னேன் வெரி பாய்ஸ்டியஸ், ஏன் இந்த மாதிரி நாய்ஸியா பேசுங்க. Many of my students, especially from people from other groups, they talk very loudly. So too are extremely attractive or unattractive people. They may be attractive or unattractive. We often perceive women, men, whites, Africans, Americans, Asians, or members of any other group as clearly distinguishable characteristics as like in other unrelated ways as well. So we think women is different from men and whites are different from black, African Americans, Asians, or members of any other group are clearly distinguishable characteristics. Even in India, South, North, a lot of conflicts are there. Context also matters. Time in which we see an object or event can influence our location, as can location, light, heat, or any number of things. Sir, நான் வந்து நைட்ல பார்த்தேன்னா சரியா தெரியல, கொஞ்சம் காலையில ஒரு தடவை பார்த்தா நல்லா இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அந்த இந்த வெளிச்சத்துல பார்த்து என் ஒய்ஃபை கூப்பிட்டுட்டோம், கடைக்கு போயிட்டு பட்டுப்புடவை வாங்கிட்டு வந்தவன அடுத்த என்னங்க இது மாத்துறாங்க, ஏன் இல்ல அந்த டியூப்லைட் வெளிச்சத்துல பார்த்தேன், அது வேற மாதிரி எனக்கு பிடிக்கல கலரு, நான் காலையில எழுந்து பார்க்கும் போது இந்த வேற கலரு, வாங்க திருப்பி போய் மாத்திட்டு வாங்க. இதுக்காக தான் நான் புடவை கடை போவது கிடையாது. At a nightclub on Saturday night, you may not notice a young guest dressed in short jeans. Yet the same person so attired for your Monday morning management class. Nightclub, he comes in here, dressed short jeans, but avaridan next. We used to walk in the ground off shift portrait. When I met my friend, good friend, additional director general of police, he could not identify me. Said, oh sorry, நீங்க தான் அது இல்லையா, நான் கிரவுண்ட்ல பார்த்தது, நீங்க ஆஃப் ஷிஃப்ட் டிராயர்ல இருந்து வருவீங்க. I thought it you are different. So neither the perceiver nor the target has changed between the Saturday night and Monday morning. ரெண்டு பேரும் ஒரே தான். Saturday nightல பார்த்தாலும் Monday morning பார்த்தாலும் ஒண்ணே தான். But the situation is different. Saturday night clubல பார்த்ததும் situation is a different situation. Monday morning classes Monday morning office வரும்போது different. So context is also matters. Time is also matters. Learning. Learning, what is the nature of learning? How learning occurs? Principles of learning. All these things we are going to see by. What is learning? Learning is a key process in human behavior. All living is learning. We learn from our things. All living is learning. Skills, knowledge, habits, attitudes, interests, and other personality characters are the results of learning. And I learned a lot in my behavior. I used to be very aggressive. One of my director, he called me, Dr. Ramasamy P. Iyer, who was the director of Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, for 10 years. He called me and said, Gangadharan, I find a lot of aggressiveness in your attitude. A smile is 100 times get you many things for you rather than the sword. நீ ஸ்மைல் பண்ணிட்டு ஜென்டிலா இருந்து பாரு, எவ்வளவு பேர் உன்னுடைய சைட்ல இருப்பாங்க rather than being aggressive. அன்னைக்கு சேஞ்ச் பண்ண 1993ல சேஞ்ச் பண்ண என்னோட attitude that brought me lot of friends, lot of things become very easy rather than being aggressive. That's what learning. We learn skills. Today I'm able to teach. Today I'm able to do lot of work in the Excel. All those things because of the skills I learn. Knowledge, reading, habits, good habits, attitude, interest. The individual is constantly interacting with and influenced by the environment. அந்த இதுல சேர்ந்தான் சார் அவன் கெட்டு போயிட்டான் சார். அந்த குரூப்போட சேர்ந்தா அவன் கெட்டு போயிட்டான். இங்க இருந்து அங்க மாறி போனா, பாம்பே கல்ச்சர் போனா, டிரான்ஸ்பர் ஆயிட்டு அவனோட ஆட்டிடியூடே மாறிச்சு, அவன் கம்ப்ளீட்டா மாறி போயிடுச்சு. என்வாயர்மெண்ட், influenced by the environment. The individual is constantly interacting with and influenced by the environment. This experience make him to change or modify his behavior in order to deal effectively with it. Therefore, learning is a change in behavior influenced by the previous behavior. So, are you able to understand this? Are you with me? Hello? Okay. Now, learning is defined as, what is learning? Any relatively permanent change in behavior that occur as a result of practice and experience. A permanent change நம்மளுடைய இதுல வருது learning. So அது கத்துக்கிட்டா நம்மளுடைய behavior is some permanent change we look see in the behavior. This definition has 3 important elements. Learning is a change behavior. அது கண்ட தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும் சார். It may be better or it may be worse. சார் இது வரைக்கும் அவனுக்கு சீட் ஆடுறது எப்படின்னே தெரியாம இருந்துச்சு சார். அந்த சீட் ஆடுறது கத்துக்கணும்னு அதுலயே அடிமையாயிட்டு சார். See how many people, intelligent people who are in the good job, Rummy Vadadi, they commit suicide because they are playing with the pre-designed computer. They are playing. They don't know that they think they are playing with the human being. Only if you play with the human being, his attitude and things changes. But if you play with a pre-designed computer, programmed computer, you lose. It is a change that takes place through practice or experience, but changes due to growth or maturation is or not learning. Learning வந்து உன்னுடைய வயது ஏற ஏற ஆர் நீ வளர வளர ஏற்படுற மாற்றங்கள் அது லேர்னிங் கிடையாது. It is a change that take place through practice or experience. நம்ம வந்து எக்ஸல்ல ஒர்க் பண்றோம், ஐ அம் ஏபிள் டு டூ சால்வ் தி ப்ராப்ளம், கெட் இன் தி திங், ஷேர் மார்க்கெட்ல இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் பண்றோம், எந்த ஷேர் எப்படி போகுதுன்னு பாக்குறோம், என்ன ஃபோன் கால் எப்படி ஃபோன் கால் பேங்க் மேனேஜர் சார் நான் இதுல இருந்து பேசுறேன் சார் அதுல இருந்து பேசுறேன் சார் சொன்னாலும் we are able to be cautious. இன்னைக்கு ஒருத்தன் 10 lakhs rupees have lost. That too from US based person who has come from US, நல்ல technical knowledge, very well learned person, just gave all the details to some fraudster. ஏன்னா அவனுடைய ஏடிஎம்ல அவனுடைய கார்டு பிளாக் ஆச்சு. he thought எந்த பேங்க்ல இருந்து நீங்க பேசுறீங்க அந்த क्वेश्चन கூட கேட்கல. he revealed everything and said that. So it is a change that takes place through practice or experience, but changes due to growth or maturations are not learned. This change in behavior must be relatively permanent, and it must last barely for a long time. Whatever thing that you are learning, அது உங்கள்கிட்ட permanent-ஆ இருக்கும். It will be there for a long time. Musicians, keyboard player, A.R. Rahman. A.R. Rahman is a master in the particular thing called keyboard. அந்த கீபோர்டை யக்கு வேணும் ஆறு வேணும் பிரிச்சுட்டு திருப்பி மாட்டிட்டு ரிப்பேர் பண்ற ஆளு. So he knows everything about the keyboard, tone, எல்லாமே அவருக்கு தெரியும். டைம் சொல்லிட்டு all learning involves activities, either physical activities or mental activities. They may be simple mental activities or complex activities involving various muscles, bones, etc. Types of learning. Types of learning. Motor learning. Motor learning. Most of our activities in our day-to-day life refer to motor activities. For example, regular newspaper reading. Every day morning, walking போயிட்டு வந்தவன காஃபி குடிக்கும் போது I need newspaper to read, despite we get all the news through the phone, through internet, through television வந்தா கூட every day அந்த தினத்தந்தி பேப்பர் பிரிச்சுட்டு அந்த படிக்காம நம்மளுக்கு ஓடாது. So it's a motor learning every day. காலையில் எழுந்த உடனே அந்த பேப்பர் படிக்கணும். Yes, நீங்க இவ்வளவு பெரிய professor, but I'm comfortable with a paper called Dinatandi rather than Times of India or any other. Times of India also I read, but comfortable பல வருஷங்கள் எனக்கு வந்ததுனால தினத்தந்தி காலையில படிச்சோம். For a long time குமுதம், இப்ப குமுதமுடைய குவாலிட்டி எல்லாம் போயிடுச்சு. I'm not subscribing. Long time. அந்த காலத்துல ராக்கி ரங்கராஜன் அவங்களாம் இருக்கும்போது குமுதம் எங்க வீட்டுல ஒழிச்சு வச்சிருவாங்க. ஏன்னா நான் வேற வேலை பண்ண மாட்டேன், குமுதத்துல உட்காந்துருவேன். இன்னைக்கு வியாழக்கிழமை வரும். அப்புறம் நான் எல்லாம் வேலை எல்லாம் முடிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் கெஞ்சி கூத்தாடினதுக்கு அப்புறம் கையில குமுதம் இருக்கும். So motor learning, most of our activities in our day-to-day life refer to motor activities. The individual has to learn them in order to maintain his regular life. Example, walking, running, skating, driving, climbing, etc. Individual has to learn them in order to maintain his regular activities. Now, sir, walking for sir, நடந்தே வா. நடந்தே தான் sir walking. நடந்தே வா போனீங்க. All these activities involve muscular coordination. So types of learning. Then you have verbal learning. Verbal learning, this type of learning involves the language we speak, the communication device we use. I know 5 to 6 languages. I can speak Tamil, I can speak English, Konkani is my mother tongue, Hindi I know a little bit. I was in Andhra Pradesh for 44 months, so I know Telugu. My wife is from Kerala, I know a little bit Malayalam. So this type of learning This type of learning involves the language we speak, the communication device. If you live in a place for 1 month, you will learn 25% of the language. If you go live in Bangalore for 1 month, you will know 25% of Kannada. Signs, pictures, symbols, words, figures, sounds, etc. are the tools used in such activities. So, if reporta idu toilet la, they said male, female, tantane poranga. Symbols go this way, that way, directions, words, figures, sounds. We use words for communication. It's a verbal learning. Concept learning. It is the form of learning which requires higher order mental process like thinking, reasoning, intelligence, etc. We learn different concepts from childhood. Example, when we see a dog, attach the term dog, we learn that the word dog refers to a particular animal. 4 கால் இருந்தாலும் அதால கால் மேல கால் போட்டு போட முடியாது. 4 கால் நாய்க்கு 4 கால் இருந்தாலும் அதனால கால் மேல கால போட முடியாது. Concept learning involves two processes, abstraction and generalization. Abstraction is summary. ஒரு summary. Generalization இப்படிமா இருந்தா இதுவா தான் இருக்கு, எல்லாருமே பொருந்தும். ஒருத்தரத பார்த்துட்டு we generalize for others. This learning is very useful in recognizing, identifying things. That's a concept learning. Then we have discrimination learning. Learning to differentiate between stimuli and showing an appropriate response to these stimuli is called discrimination learning. Example, sound of horns. Sound horns of different vehicles like bus, car, and ambulance. Sound of ambulance. You are supposed to give way to the ambulance sound. The moment you hear the ambulance, you are supposed to give way, else 10,000 rupees fine plus imprisonment. Nowadays they have included imprisonment also. So learning principles. Individuals learn certain principles related to science, mathematics, grammar, etc. in order to manage their work effectively. These principles always show relationship between two or more concepts. Example, formulae, laws, association, correlations, etc. Yeah. Okay. These principles always show relationship between all these things. Okay. Problem solving. This is a higher level of learning process. This learning requires the use of cognitive abilities such as thinking, reasoning, observation, imagination, generalization. This is very useful to overcome difficult problems encountered by the people. Cognitive abilities. Cognitive ability, process of thinking, arivatral. Imagination, flying birds, enabled to invent aeroplane. Discover versus invent. Discover is, invent is already not there. It's a new thing, is invention. Discovery is, it is already there, is discovery. Attitude learning. Attitude is the predisposition. Attitude is a predisposition which determines and directs our behavior. Say no to work. A settled way of thinking. We develop different attitudes from our childhood about people, objects, and everything we know. Our behavior may be positive or negative depending upon our attitude. Example, attitude of nurses towards our profession, patients, etc. Now group behavior. Dynamics of group behavior. What is group behavior? Individuals form groups. They live in groups. They move in groups. They work in groups. Okay, what is group behavior? So individual workers, all staff, key workers, officers versus staff, faculty versus non-faculty, faculty and the students. So they're all different groups. Individuals form groups. All faculty means professor, associate professor, assistant professors. They all together are called faculty. Non-faculty, your registrar, assistant registrar, your manager, staff, departmental staff, they are all called non-teaching faculty. Driver, all those things are non-teaching. So individuals, they form group. Drivers association. If you go to the government, state government drivers association, state government nurses association, then you have the doctors association, then you have paramedical association. So different individuals, they form groups. And they live in groups, they move in groups, they work in groups. Then why groups are important? They influence work and work behavior. Group influence the work and work behavior. They cannot be ignored. You need. So drivers are the most influential people, especially the director, the driver. They are the one who tell all the things. So I had a lot of disagreement with my director because he was listening to the driver. So I told him, sir, driver you take decisions according to that. Either you listen to me or you listen to them, driver, and walk off. Every day morning, sir, and driver and myself, sir, driver they cannot be ignored. They exert significant influence on the organization. That group exerts significant influence. They are inseparable from organization. They are useful for the organization. They form foundation of the human resources. The study of group behavior is very, very important. Individual and group behavior differs from each other. Individually different. Sir, no, lead, association சொல்ற மாதிரி அது மாதிரி தானே சார் நான் பண்ண முடியும். எங்க யூனியன் லீடர் அந்த மாதிரி பண்ண சொன்னார் சார். நான் அது மாதிரி கையெழுத்து போட்டேன் சார். சார் எனக்கு எதுவும் தெரியாது சார். உங்களை பத்தி தான் எனக்கு தெரியுமே சார். Individual is different, group behavior different from each other. Group behavior affects productivity. Now, the importance of group behavior has been realized from time to time. Elton Mayo, இது ரொம்ப important this question. Elton Mayo and associates way back in 1920 conducted the famous Hawthorne Experiments and came to know that the group behavior have major impact on the productivity. This is very important, my dear students. Definite questions you will have is Hawthorne Experiment. By Elton Mayo. Very important. So Hawthorne Experiments the first work whatever the work facilities that we have is due to this particular experiment. 1920 General Electric Center Company Hawthorne என்ற இடத்துல இருந்தது. அங்க a group of men and women with light, without light, with illumination, without illumination, with fan, without fan, various working hours, various working environment போட்டுட்டு human being actually practical lab எப்படி ஒரு டெஸ்ட் பண்றோமோ அந்த டெஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு certain behaviors எல்லாம் கொண்டு வந்துட்டு அதனால தான் நம்மளுக்கு வந்து 3 ஹவருக்கு நடுவில் ஒரு கேப் கொடுக்குறோம். We have tea time. ஆஃபீஸில் காலையில் 10 மணி 11 மணிக்கு they give us tea time. 3 மணிக்கு டீ, 1 மணி கரெக்டாக லஞ்ச் டைம், லஞ்ச் டைமுக்கு 45 மினிட்ஸ் எவ்வளோ டைம் கொடுக்குறோம். All these things happens because of this Elton Mayo's Hawthorne experiment. Hawthorne என்றது place General Electric company ல Elton Mayo she conducted an experiment in 1920. People were subjected to different type of both men and women, working men தனியா women தனியா, with supervisor without supervisor, light போட்டு light இல்லாம எல்லாம் different experiments பண்ணி பார்த்துட்டு they arrived at a human behavior. You should be given some time for relaxation, time for every 3 hours. அப்புறமா அவங்களுக்கு டைம் கொடுங்க. All those things they arrived because of this. Elton Mayo and his associates way back in 1920 conducted the famous Hawthorne experiments and came to know that the group behavior have major impact on people. Every manager must understand group psychology, possess the knowledge of group behavior, and individual behavior is influenced by the group behavior. Individual behavior versus group behavior. An individual's work, job satisfaction, and effective performance is influenced by the group in which he moves. ஒரு individual work, on the job satisfaction, effective performance is influenced by the group in which he moves. At lower level of organization, it is the small groups of employees work as a team. Sometimes they say, நம்ம இது டார்கெட் அச்சீவ் பண்ணணும், you have to sacrifice. The management say, அப்பதான் நம்ம கம்பெனி இது பண்ண முடியும். That is how Infosys came. We have to work like this without salary. பண்ணானா இந்த கோல் அச்சீவ் பண்ண முடியும்னு சொல்லிட்டு Infosys நாராயண் மூர்த்தி சொல்லிட்டு people all work together, committed, and they came up with a big organization. They have the responsibility to finish a task assigned to them within a stipulated period of time. That's what you say. இந்த முடிச்சிங்கன்னா நான் உங்களுக்கு you will get this much profit. இதுல உங்களுக்கு போனஸ் வரும். You will get all those things. If they come across a problem, they tackle it by themselves. They get guidance from senior fellow workers in solving the problem and accomplishing it. It is needless to say, groups are important in employees' life. They spend increasing proportion of time with the group at workplace. Viewers in a theater, passengers in a train, they are not group unless they interact for a long and they exert some influence on each other. Such people's gatherings are referred to as connection. Train la porom, theater la ukandirukrom, they are not group unless they interact for a long and exert some influence. But same Chennai la irundhu Delhi porom, ஒரு 28 மணி நேரம் 25 மணி நேரம் ஒன்னா டிராவல் பண்ணும்போது we develop some good friendship. The train friendship and the friendship long time. Some people are really very friendly and you will get into the touch. On a train you have to be very careful. Unless you come to know and then you exert. That's why people train la nalla or palagi idu panni padra mari then they take. So train journey people, they are not group. Viewers in a theater, passengers in a train are not a group unless they interact for a long and exert some influence on each other. Such people's gatherings are known as a collection. They interact at a very low level, not they get influence with each other, but enjoy being in collection. Train la pombo jale pacing but people normally don't pick up a long relationship with them. The collection of people may get converted into group temporarily if they are caught up in a dangerous situation like fire, robbery, etc. They become group. The collection of people may get converted into group temporarily if they are caught up in a dangerous situation like fire, problem, etc. They will come over problem fighting as a group united. What are the determinants of group behavior? Determinants of group behavior. Management of modern organization is making concerted efforts to introduce industrial democracy at workplace. For example, you can see TVS groups. There are no strikes so far. And then you can see amalgamation groups. அந்த காலத்துல இருக்கும் strike இப்போ Simpson Addison group strike. They are using task force, project teams, work committees where workers get due representation. They participate very often in decision making. This takes place in groups. To make participative, that is employment sharing. Employees, you give share also. Our company shares also they give. To make participative management more effective and relieve executives of petty responsibilities, employees are given these responsibilities to carry on successfully and effectively. Group of employees are also given joint responsibility to carry on the work. Participative management, more effective and relieve executives of petty responsibilities, and employees are given these responsibilities to carry successfully and effectively. There are several works which an individual cannot perform. To complete such tasks, group efforts are required for its completion. For example, building a ship, making a movie, construction of a flyover or a complex. Lot of people are involved. You need the interior designers, you need the builders, you need the construction workers, you need the steel fellow who supplies steel. For example, the construction of a thing, how many people are in? Aluminium, you take aluminium. So many things are there in the aluminium, iron, supplies of aluminium, furniture, and then your toilet thing, then the electricity. So many people are involved. Group has the ability to satisfy the needs of its members. In a group, an individual member feels secure as he can directly get technical and work-related assistance. They also get special support when they are emotionally depressed. யாராவது மற்ற எம்ப்ளாயிஸ் இது பண்ண குரூப் நம்ம குரூப் ஆல் இது பண்றப்ப எல்லாரும் ஒன்னா சேர்ந்து will all give some money. Some people are fully எல்லாருமே பைசா போட்டு we give a good sum of money. For example, one lady, housekeeping lady, her husband died, very poor with 2 children. All the students in my college, in our institution, they collected a lump sum money. Plus the faculty members, individual faculty members, they together we collected 50,000 rupees and we gave it to that lady. So they all get special support when they are emotionally depressed. A group can make better judgment compared to an individual. I'll bear the view at what is right and what is wrong. For individual decision, a group can get better decision. Individuals in a group communicate with each other and discuss the work performance and suggestion to make it better and excellent. While accomplishing tasks, groups can use creative instinct and innovative ideas than a single individual. Lot of innovative ideas. Nowadays you can see there is a TV program happening in Share It or something. Lot of people, young people are coming up with a lot of innovative ideas. Somebody came with green desi toys, and gilli dandu and bambaram, adala desi color with it. Somebody is coming up with a company like that and making a lot of money. Desi toys. When group is working, all the benefits of division of labor. Division of labor, either நீ பண்ணு அதான் நீ பண்ணாது completely. Finally the finishing stage. ஒரு சேர் இருக்குன்னா சேர் மேல் இது மாத்திரம் ஒரு இது பண்ணுவாங்க, இன்னொருத்தர் வந்து கீழே கால் பண்ணுவாங்க, இன்னொருத்தர் இன்னொரு குரூப் வந்து எல்லாத்தையும் அசெம்பிள் பண்றது. So when they work as a group, the complete task is completed. Type of groups: formal group, informal group, purpose group. Formal group, command group and the task group. Informal group, interest group, membership group, friends group, reference group. Purpose vocational group, instructional group, government group, religious group and recreational group. So let us temporarily stop with this. Now it is 3 p.m. now. Let us take a small break and okay.
மகிழ் போன் அடிக்கும். और कौन आप करिए
Okay. Now these are all the different types of the group we have. You've seen this. Okay. Now what are these formal groups? Formal groups created as part of the organization structure to accomplish organizational tasks. For example, a group in a plan, a group in the ACC cement plan, a group in the India Cements. They are bound by hierarchical authority in the organization. They are bound by the chairman and managing director, then your general manager, deputy general manager, assistant manager. They are bound by the hierarchical authority in the organization. They have to follow the rules, regulation, and policy of the organization. These groups are required by the system. A formal group said to be any social arrangement in which the activities of some persons are planned by others to achieve a common purpose. So it is said to be social arrangement. Activities of some persons are planned by others to achieve a common purpose. Formal groups help in achieving the goals without any difficulty by facilitating the coordination of activities and help in forming logical relationship among people and position. What is the logical relationship? ஒரு ஒர்க்கர்ஸுக்கு ஃபோர்மேன் இருப்பார், ஃபோர்மேனுக்கு மேல அசிஸ்டன்ட் மேனேஜர், அசிஸ்டன்ட் மேனேஜருக்கு மேல டிப்யூட்டி மேனேஜர், டிப்யூட்டி மேனேஜருக்கு மேல மேனேஜர், then you have assistant general manager, deputy general manager, general manager, like that. Each one will have logical relationship among people. They will coordinate. They coordinate coordination of activities and helping in forming the logical relationship. Formal. Leonard or Sales subdivided the formal groups into command groups and task groups. Command groups in another. Command groups consist of subordinates who are directly responsible to supervisors. Command groups are structured by the organization. For example, the subordinate working in the enforcement department of a town planning authority are reporting directly to the enforcement officer. This group is responsible for the removal of encroachment on public land. So there is a town planning CMDA, town planning CMDA க்கு கீழ there is an enforcement officer இருப்பாங்க. ஆக்கிரமிப்பு நிலங்கள் அகற்றப்பட்டது, அது மாதிரி கோயில் நிலங்கள், இந்து ரிலீஜியஸ் அண்ட் என்டோமெண்ட் போர்டுக்கு சொந்தமான கோயில் நிலத்துல ஒன்றாவது டென்ட்டை போட்டு பில்டிங்கை கட்டின்னு உட்காந்துன்னா கவர்மெண்ட் will go remove them. Task group is also known as task group is also known. Task group is formed by to complete a project. The job is to complete a task within the allotted period of time. If one task is completed, they are allotted a new task to work with. For example, project team, quality circles, audit teams, government audit team, audit department வருவாங்க. Government of India இருந்து audit department வந்துட்டு எல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு புக்ஸ் ஆஃப் அக்கௌண்ட்ஸ் பார்த்துட்டு எல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டு அவங்களுக்கு மகாபலிபுரம் அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணி டீமுக்கு அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணி லஞ்ச் பிஞ்செல்லாம் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணிட்டு ஆடிட்டிங் கரெக்ட் போட்டு போயிடுவாங்க. Audit group, task group. Then there is an informal group. Informal group exists within the formal organization and arise because of individual social needs and desire to develop and maintain relationship with people. Cultural group, they are all informal group. Working at a plant or office leads to formation of informal groups. They work together and this leads to their interaction. They are spontaneous and emotional. Keith Davis has defined informal groups as the network of persons and social relationship which is not established or required for formal office. For example, we have a walking group. We all walk in the eco park in Chetpur. So we all have people from different individuals, industrialists, ADGPs, then commissioners, we have government authorities, finance officers, lot of big people together. We are all informal groups. Every birthday, we meet together, we have breakfast, we go to the temple, we make a small tour with our spouse. They're all informal groups. They are formed by the employees themselves at the workplace while working together. The organization do not take any active interest in the formation. The organization will not take any. Informal groups are cliques. Cliques mean a group of people of different organizations coming together with a common interest is called cliques. They are horizontal, vertical, and random. Horizontal none. People from the same rank work an area. For example, IAS officers group. IAS officers groups are more bounding, whether he is a North Indian or South Indian, IAS officer will help another IAS officer. They are all together, IAS officers. But whereas IPS officers, among the different, not bounding is not that much. North Indians are South Indian IPS officers, and the different. Vertical, people from different organization levels join together. That's good. Random employees from both horizontal and vertical lines coming together with a common interest. Or கோயில் கட்டுறோம், அதுக்கு மேனேஜர், workers, எல்லாருமே சேர்ந்து கோயில் கமிட்டின்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. That's a common group. So informal group. Informal groups are very effective and powerful. Some managers view them harmful and disruptive to the interest of the organization. They suspect their integrity and consider them as a virtual threat. Some managers seek their help in getting the task completed quickly. The strength of these informal groups can be utilized for accomplishment of organizational objectives. Informal groups are of the following types: interest groups, membership group, friendship group, reference group, friendship group, and reference group. Informal group, interest group, a group of employees coming together for obtaining a common purpose. Example, for payment of bonus, increase in salary, medical benefits, and other facilities. Interest group, they are all interest group. In our organization, I was responsible for getting the group medical insurance, because I was working in order the group medical insurance. So I initiated the thing. So I initiated and I got group medical insurance for all the employees and staff. Membership group of persons belonging to the same person, same profession, knowing each other. For example, teachers of the same faculty in the university, economics teachers association, commerce teachers association, so membership group. Then you have friendship group, a group outside the plant or office having similar views, tastes, opinions, belonging to the same age group. They form clubs and associations based on the friendship. For example, you have Eco Park Association. They are also different groups. Reference group, it is the primary groups where people shape their ideas, beliefs, values, etc. They want support from the group. Family is an important reference group. A team of players playing this game is a purpose of groups can be classified in the following. We have vocational group, association of the same vocation, for example, class 1 officers association, teachers association, etc. Instructional group, people who have enrolled themselves for the same course. Example, students doing the MTech in the same project. For example, MBA students. HR group, those who have taken HR, those who have taken IT, they all form a group. Government group, association formed for governing, municipal council, management board, they are all government groups. Religious group, people belonging to the same religions coming together and forming group. Karpaga Vinayagar Koil Kumbhabhishekam group, or Amman Koil, all people together. Recreation groups formed with the purpose of recreation, football club, cricket club, etc. called recreation groups. So that's what we have about the groups and things like that. Now let us get into the motivation. What is motivation? What is motivation? Regardless of the theory of employee motivation being followed, research studies and motivation conclude that interesting work is a motivation, appreciation is a motivation, pay is a motivation, good working conditions is a motivation, job securities, they are all important factors helping to motivate. Interesting work. Many people with good work and they are interested in the movies. For example, actor Jason is a good friend of mine. Graduate, good family. But he is interested in the movie. He started acting in the movie. He took great interest to act in the movies and become a popular hero. Interesting work. I'm interested in that work. In my case, I was interested in teaching. I like teaching young people. I'm always be with the young people. Despite I got the job from the bank, from the government, from all these things, I like teaching, so I went. Interesting for me. Teaching is an interesting devotional work. Appreciation. When people appreciate, it's a motivation. Pay. Bank. In international banks, they pay very high. We like to work in international things. There are many people work in US because the pay. Good working condition. Type of working condition there. And then the job security. Why people are interested in government job? Job security. I have a very good IAS, a lot of IAS officers are my friend. They told me, Gangadharan, I can't dismiss even a peon from my organization for disciplinary action. Job security. Government job. Job security, no, unless you are very, very bad. Otherwise, nobody, unless you steal something or this, like otherwise, there's no problem in the government jobs. So they are all the factors helping in to motivate. Why should we study motivation? What we need to do for enhancing motivation in the organization? We need to study the following. An analysis of what motivates individual staff members, the performance objectives of the individuals, the strategic goals of the organization, the values and culture of the organization. What is the next action? Devise two types of techniques. One is financial motivation, another is the non-financial motivation. What is financial motivations? Financial motivation. Piece rate. இவ்வளவு வேலை பண்ணா இத்தனை ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணா இத்தனை, இவ்வளவு பண்ணா இது. Salary, bonus, profit sharing, time rates, commission, share ownership, EPS, employees sharing. All the, for example, Reliance Group employees share. Imposition employee shares. Each employees are given a share. Employees' share is there. Performance-related pay. If you perform this, this is the pay. Performance-related pay. Non-financial thing, job enrichment, job enlargement, team working, empowerment. Need of full in charge. You are in charge of this thing. You have to take care of this. Fringe benefits, job rotation. You're getting job rotation. All these things are non-financial methods. Financial incentives and techniques of motivations. Financial techniques refers to monetary rewards. Incentives are nothing but the inducements to provided to employees in order to motivate them. Sir, na sir, manji work panalo, adher 3% government, whether you work or not, every year you get 3% increment in your basic pay, and DNS allowance, DA 24%, 32%, 20 government of India, state government. These things are there. Whereas the private organization, your performance is evaluated on the basis of the performance. They allocate 20% is the highest amount of increment. They give minimum 5%. They give minimum 5%, whether you do work or not, 5%. Maximum 20%. There should be direct relationship between efforts and rewards. Financial reward should be substantial in value and must be in parity with others. In parity. Parity. There's no parity. On par. I'll give you a small example. I was working in a leading business school. We have sub-organization also. We have our own organization in which we have IFMR. In IFMR, we have IFMR lead, IFMR this, that, and a lot of other organizations. The students trained by us, students pursuing MBA program, and after graduation, some students are absorbed in our own sister organization. They are paid more than our salary. The students whom I trained, the student whom I taught, he was taking more salary than my salary. Then we went to the management, what, it is not on par. We are the one who are teaching, we are not on par with the other sister organization. Then they decided, and our salaries was on par with the other sister organization. That's what in parity. There should be direct relationship between efforts and rewards. Financial reward should be substantial in value and must be in parity with others. Central government scale, UGC scale. There are many private colleges are there. Whether they pay the same thing. Name patana periya college salary very, very poor salary. But whereas in the university, is guided by all the university have to pay the UGC scale, 7th pay commission, and scale. Underpaying staff sends the messages that your firm does not value their work. Money is not a primary motivator, but this should not be regarded as a signal to reward employees poorly or unfairly. Money, many cases, money is not important. For example, in our teaching, the organization is good, money is not important. But employees should be fairly treated or poorly or unfairly. Should not be treated as a signal to employees. Should not be regarded as a signal to reward employees poorly. But there are a lot of social organizations out there going and teaching in the social organization. They are not worried about the payment because it's a social organization. It helps people to do a lot of other things. The financial incentives include what? Pay and allowance. It includes basic pay, grade pay, DNS allowance, DA, traveling allowance, pay increments, etc. Good pay and allowances help the organization to retain and attract capable persons. Otherwise, people will leave. For example, Walmart. The most poorly paid organization is Walmart. At the same time, Walmart is the organization that employs maximum number of people in the organization. Every day, lot of people come, lot of ICICI. I say lot of people come in, lot of people go out. Good salary, everything, but other banks prefer ICICI Bank employees. However, good pay and allowance need not motivate all the people, especially who are enjoying security of job in government organization and those for whom corruption is a way of life. Government வேலை பண்ணனா சைடுல காசு வரும், ஜாப் இந்த இது வந்து சைடு காசு எவ்வளவு வரும் சார், சைடு அதர் அமௌண்ட் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும். Some of the other issues are associated with bad attitudes, grievances, absenteeism, turnover, poor organizational citizenship, and adverse effect on employees' mental and physical health. What is incentive pay? Incentive pay plans are meant to increase output, which can be measured quantitatively. For incentive plan targets, the employees must have the confidence that they can achieve the target. You will achieve incentive, sir. Incentive. Gain sharing. It's a reward system in which team members earn bonus for increasing productivity or reduce wastages. To illustrate, if the wastages is reduced from 5% to less, the benefits may be shared equally with them. Profit sharing. It means sharing of profits with the employees by way of distribution of bonus. Profit sharing plan has its shortcomings. One, that it has become a regular feature in government departments, irrespective of the performance. And two, it may have no relationship with the individual efforts. Bonus on the every year you will have percentages bonus given share. This is what is called ESOP, employee stock options. Plans are used to compensate, retain, and attract employees. Employee stocks options are contracts between a company and its employee that gives employees the right to buy a specific number of company shares at a fixed price with a certain period of time. A company share, which ICICI Bank share, employees are given share. So on the share market, employees who are granted stock options hope to profit by exercising their options at a higher price than when they are granted. In India, stock options have primarily been used as a retention tool for more selective group of employees. Stock options. Then we have retirement benefits. Retirement benefits include accumulated provident fund, gratuity, leave encashment, and pension. Now there is one more thing called superannuation. In our organization, they include superannuation. Superannuation, every month a certain amount is given by the management in the LIC. LIC la ஒரு fund போட்டு superannuation fund போட்டுட்டோம். அது மேக்ஸிமம் எவ்வளோமா இருக்கு, தட் ஹஸ் நோ லிமிட். எவ்வளோ அமௌண்ட் போடுறாங்களோ அந்த அமௌண்ட். இப்போ இதுல எல்லாம் ஒரு லிமிட் இருக்குது. இந்த ப்ராவிடென்ட் ஃபண்ட்ல யூ கான்ட்ரிபியூட் 12%, தென் யுவர் ஆர்கனைசேஷன் ஆல்சோ கான்ட்ரிபியூட் 12%. அந்த 12%ல 8%, 8.33 or something goes for your provident fund and 4.33 goes for your pension. அதுல இருந்து உங்களுக்கு ப்ராவிடென்ட் ஃபண்ட்ல இருந்து ஒரு பென்ஷன் வரும். Apart from that, you get a pension from the government pension. There's a companies will provident fund pensions. Then you get gratuity. 5 years மேல work பண்ணா 4 point some years is there. If you work that, you are supposed to get the gratuity. Gratuity payment வந்து உன்னுடைய accumulation up to இப்போ 20 lakhs வரைக்கும் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. நான் ரிட்டையர்ட் ஆகும்போது 10 lakhs was the limit. Even though my gratuity amount was 11 lakhs was there in my account, I was paid only 10 lakhs because this limit is only 10 lakhs. Leave encashment up to 180 days leave you can accumulate. அதுக்கப்புறமா இருக்கிறதெல்லாம் lapse ஆயிடும். After 180 days only you can encash the leave. Then you have the pension. Now you have the superannuation. Superannuation 1/3 உங்களுக்கு cash கொடுத்துருவாங்க. 2/3 you have to keep it in the annuity. Monthly அதுல இருந்து certain amount will get credited into it. இல்லை எனக்கு குடும்பம் I want all the 2/3 also I want சொன்னா that is taxable. 30% tax போட்டு பாக்கி amount. அதோட lot of people prefer to have that in the LIC and get monthly annuity. Every month கிடைக்கிற ஒரு 10,000 11,000 whatever it is. The provision of terminal benefits provides assurance to employment during the service for the future. இதெல்லாம் 2004ல ஜாயின் பண்ணவங்களுக்கு தான் இந்த பென்ஷன் இருந்தது. இப்போ இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் பென்ஷன். என்ன அட்வான்டேஜ் கவர்மெண்ட் சர்வீஸ்ல பேங்க்ல இருக்கிறவங்களுக்குன்னா the last payment அவங்க வாங்குறாங்க பாருங்க, be basic pay, that amount is taken. That's what retirement ஆனாலும் they get a considerable amount. Non-financial incentives are taken. And what is a non-financial? Small example. Constructions. எங்க வீட்டு பக்கத்துல ஒரு பிராமின் இருப்பாங்க. கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன்ஸ் ஒர்க்கர்ஸ்ங்களுக்கு அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, கரெக்டா 11 மணிக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் நல்ல திக்கு பால்ல ஏலக்காய்லாம் குடிச்சு போட்டு நல்ல ஒரு டீ தருவாங்க. வெரி குட் டீ ஷீல் கிவ். அந்த டீ சாப்பிட்டுட்டு they will motivate to work. நாம வந்து 100 ரூபாய் கொடுத்து போய் டீ சாப்பிட்டுட்டு வானா கூட they will not get satisfied. They will always say ஐ ரூட்ல டீ கொடுத்தாங்க. அந்த அப்பா கரெக்டா 11 மணிக்கு கொடுப்பாங்க டீ. 3 மணிக்கு ஒரு உண்மையான டீ வரும். And by giving this tea, it motivates them. At the same time, they will exert more work. என்னப்பா அது கொஞ்சம் பண்ணிடுப்பா, இதையும் கொஞ்சம் பண்றோமா, அது கொஞ்சம் சிமெண்ட் தடிப்பா, இங்க கொஞ்சம் இந்த குழி நோண்டிருப்பா, அதையும் மூடிப்பா, இது பண்ணுப்பா. They will exert some extra work to them by giving this work. That is what this non-financial incentives are taking. Non-financial incentives do not involve money payments. These are also important in motivating employees as they bring in psychological and emotional satisfaction to them. These include so many techniques. People do work for money, but they work even more for meaning in their lives. In fact, they work to have fun. Some important non-financial incentives include job security. It can motivate a worker appointed temporarily better than provision of job security. Temporary ஒரு மாதிரி இருக்கும், permanent ஆனோன்னு அவனுக்கு behavior வேற இருக்கும். Even if a temporary worker puts in greater efforts, lack of job security will always pose a threat. Any time he can be sent out to pose a threat. If such a worker is given job security, he will be more committed to the organization. Challenging work. Workers who are dynamic in nature do not show preference for routine jobs. As there is routine jobs. Nowadays, challenging. Youngsters are given, this is my company, this is what the company's position is. Any youngsters with good MBA degree and things like that are able to take it up. It's a challenge. A lot of people took over the company and turned it as a profit making, just as a challenge. They are always ready to accept challenging assignments. Challenge can be brought through mentoring, job redesigning, job enlargement, or job enrichment. Understand the capability of every individual in the organization, accordingly assigning the work, challenging work. Recognition. It is important that the employer recognize hard work. My son got the best employment award. On a resort, all the employees were together. They took them to a resort, good resort in near Mahabalipuram. அவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் ஒரு T-shirt கொடுத்து best employee award ஒரு shield கொடுத்து, and then ஒரு certificate. They're all making to involve more and more in that organization. Even a word of appreciation from him would motivate the employees to maintain the same level of performance or do even better. Employees rank A personal thank you as the most sought from the organization, followed by a handwritten note of appreciation from the boss. Sir, thanks கூட சொல்லல சார். Sometimes we work very hard. ஒரு பெரிய மீட்டிங் ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு பெரிய லெவல் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்போம். அவங்க டெய்லி நம்மளோட போன்ல பேசுவோம், சார் இதாயிடுச்சு அதாயிடுச்சான்னு. அந்த மீட்டிங்ல வோட் ஆஃப் தேங்க்ஸ் வரும்போது ஒரு ஸ்மால் தேங்க்ஸ் கூட நம்மள மறந்துடும். அந்த டைம் ரொம்ப மனசு புண்படுமாச்சு, இவ்வளோலாம் ஒர்க் பண்ண ஒரு ஸ்மால் தேங்க்ஸ் கூட சொல்லி அப்புறம் போன்ல கூட பர்சனல் சொல்லுவாங்க. அது எப்படி மீட்டிங்ல சொல்றது எப்படி? ரெகக்னிஷன். பெட்டர் ஜாப் டைட்டில்ஸ். Give me 40, call me 13 வாங்க. பட் இங்க வந்து சார் நீங்க வந்து whatever work you give me, but call me as a assistant general manager or call me as an advisor, call me as a partner. Better job titles do matter. Chief administrative officer, there are chief officer. Job titles do matter. Employees do show preference for certain designation. A salesman, for example, would like to be designated as sales executive, and his people may to be a sanitary inspector. If there are no such, there is no thing called sweeper and post. They are all for housekeeping workers. Opportunities for advancement. There should never be a stagnation point for any employment during the prime time of his career. The employer must always provide opportunities for his employees to perform well and move up in hierarchy. Empowerment. To stimulate an employee in his involvement in certain crucial decisions. Stimulate na on ஊக்கப்படுத்து. Stimulate na ஊக்குவிக்கிறது. For example, if the management decide to buy a new machinery for the factory, the workers' viewpoints may be secured before making the final decisions. The management should avoid unilateral decisions on such matters. Competition. The management can encourage healthy competition among employees. This would certainly motivate them to prove their capabilities. The management can also rank employees according to performance. Such of those employees who have performed very well may be given merit certificates. Job rotation. For example, dean, college dean. இது வந்து ஜாப் ரொட்டேஷன். ஒரு வருஷம் டீன் பொசிஷன் மாறிக்கினே இருக்கும். ஆர் சீஃப் வார்டன் ஒரு வருஷம் மாறிக்கினே இருக்கும். By job rotation, we means that employees will be exposed to different kinds of jobs. This certainly would break the monotony of the employees. For example, in a bank, an employee may work in the savings bank section for some time, after which he may be posted to the cash section. Such a change not only motivates the employees to perform well, but also prepare him to be versatile. Sir, நான் அந்த டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் இருந்தேன் சார், 3 வருஷம் அதில் ஒர்க் பண்ணேன் சார், 2 வருஷம் இந்த டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் இருந்துச்சு சார், 2 வருஷம் அந்த I know everything. I was involved in all the departments of the organization. The job rotation. Lead by example, by passionate and energetic. Leaders should demonstrate the attitudes, values, actions, and mindsets they want among the staff. Leaders are always considered as role models. For example, my boss, my chairman, Dr. C. Rangarajan, was the former governor of the Reserve Bank of India, was the governor of Tamil Nadu, governor of Andhra Pradesh. He was the Prime Minister's advisor, chairman, advisor to the Prime Minister Economic Council. All these posts, he was having a very high post. What I found in him is, I worked from another one organization to come to this organization, from IFMR to Madras School of Economics. So much of closeness. I had the proud of working with him so closely for 5 years. He used to take along with me when he meets the chief ministers of Tamil Nadu. I went in with him to meet Edappadi Palaniswamy. I went with him to meet M.K. Stalin. And he has given me the opportunity to interact with central ministers. He said, Ganga, you please talk to Chidambaram. You please talk to this person. I am available in this time. Tell them that you organize meeting for that. So all these things lead us by examples. There are people whom I met, they are not even equal to the dust in his shoe dust, but they consider themselves as something very big, noble or something. The knowledge this person Rangarajan had was great. He was like a father to me. He used to take when first time when I met him, we were together. We were to go to some place. He said I was about to go and sit in the front seat of the car. He said, "No, no, Ganga, come and sit next to me." Next to me, he discussed quite a lot of things with me. So leaders should be passionate and energetic. Encourage the use of humor and creativity. Incorporating humor into workplace can activate stress and create a more positive environment for everyone. சார் அவர் கூட இருந்தானா வேலை செம்மையா போகுது சார், ஜோக் அடிச்சுனே இருப்பார், நல்லா வேலை பண்ணி டைம் போகிறதே தெரியாது சார். That's why people prefer. Strategies to enhance humor include having a daily cartoon or joke sent to all staff via email, encouraging laughter, finding fun in events that did not turn out as a planned or expected one. Treat your people as human beings, neither inferior nor superior. Show trust, respect, and motivate them for creativity. Create a safe to risk environment. Keep them informed of relevant developments inside the organization. Mistakes be treated as a learning tools instead of blaming them. Act as an advocate for their employees and be visible champion for them. Provide resources and support required by staffs to complete their jobs. Promote and provide two-way feedback. Address the stress and burnout and implement work-life balance initiatives. This is absent. மாட்டினானா அவனை எவ்வளவு இது பண்ணி இது பண்ண முடியும், அவ்வளவு ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் பண்ணி முடிச்சிடும். Because there is no unity among us. Whereas other organizations there is unity. யாராவது ஒரு ஆளுக்கு சார் நீங்க அவருக்கு பண்ணி நாங்களாம் வரமாட்டோம் சார், நீங்க அவருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணியிருக்க கூடாது சார். That type of unity you don't find in other organizations. But there is some people who stand by you, sir. அவன் மேல கையை வச்சீங்கன்னா நாங்கெல்லாம் ரிசைன் பண்ணுவோம். We will not work for you. கையை வைக்கிற வேலையெல்லாம் வச்சுக்காதீங்க. What do you know about him? There are people who support you like that. You must have boss like that. Different boss. Theories of motivation: attribution theory, equity theory, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, incentive theory, psychology theory, and Frederick's Herbert two-factor theory. So what is this attribution theory? What is this attribution theory? Early theories, there are different theories of motivation. Each presents different factors that influence people's efforts and performance in organization. The approach draws heavily on the analysis of motivation by the American organization psychologist Edgar C. King. He described 3 different models of motivation roughly in order of their historical performance. 3 model. One வந்து the rational economic model. ரெண்டு வந்து social model. Third வந்து the self-actualizing model, and add a 4th complex model which he considers more appropriate. So 3 models: the rational economic model, the social model, the self-actualizing model, and the 4th complex model. Each model identifies each and assumes that people have different sorts of needs and goals and will therefore be motivated by different kinds of rewards and incentives. First, in the social model, rational economic model. These are all important questions. These are very important, the rational economic model. Motivation is very cool. According to this model, people are primarily motivated by economic self-interest. They will act to maximize their own financial and material rewards. The model suggests that people's efforts can largely controlled by offering or withholding financial rewards. அவங்களுடைய எஃபர்ட்ஸ் விட்டு இது நீ பண்ணாதான் இல்லாட்டி உனக்கு துடு கிடையாது, இல்லை இது பண்ணா இவ்வளவு துடுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. So that's what. So they maximize their own financial and material efforts motivated by self-economic interest. What are the underlying assumption? People, or more precisely workers, tend to passive or inactive, or inclined to exert less rather than more efforts. Assumption என்னன்னா ஜனங்க வந்து யூசுவலா லேசியா தான் இருப்பாங்க. They are inclined to exert less rather than more efforts. துடு குத்தா வேலை பண்ணுவாங்க, இல்லாக்கிட்டே அவங்க ஜனங்க வந்து people or workers usually they are lazy, they are passive or inactive. Passive, inclined to exert less rather than more efforts. Unwilling to take responsibility. ஐயா சார் நம்மளால முடியாது சார், நான் பண்ண மாட்டேன் சார், எனக்கு ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி எடுத்துக்க மாட்டாங்க. ரெண்டாவது சோம்பேறிங்களா இருப்பாங்க, வேலை பண்ண மாட்டாங்க, கொஞ்சம் வேலை தான் பண்ணுவாங்க, நிறைய வேலை பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. Interested in work for what they get out of financially. எனக்கு எவ்வளவு கிடைக்கும், இது பண்ணதுனால என்ன கிடைக்கும். As a result, it was assumed that they must be controlled firmly but fairly by the management. This is the motivation rational economic model. Rational economic model என்ன, இந்த நாள் தான் ஒண்ணு. People or workers, they exert, they are passive. ஏன்னா சோம்பேறிங்களா தான் இருப்பாங்க, லெஸ் கொஞ்சமான ஒர்க் தான் போடும், மோர் ஒர்க் போட மாட்டாங்க, ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி எடுத்துக்க மாட்டாங்க, அவங்க எவ்வளவு துட்டு கிடைக்குதுன்ற அதுல தான் இருப்பாங்க. அதனால இவங்களை வந்து கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணணும். They must be controlled firmly but at the same time fairly. firm கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணணும், but at the same time fair, right? Give them good salary எல்லாம் கொடுக்கணும், working condition அதெல்லாம். This is what by the management. Job satisfaction, meaning, factors, theories, measurement, moral and importance. What is job? A job is more than just shuffling papers, writing programming code, waiting on customers or driving a car. More than that. What does a job requires? Interacting with the co-workers and bosses, following organization rules and procedures, meeting performance standards, living with less than the ideal working condition, and the like. What is the job of the management? Organize work, control workers, so that jobs can be done as efficiently as possible, and so maximize the rewards of the worker and the organization. Job satisfaction meaning. Job satisfaction is one of the most researched variables in the area of workplace psychology, and has been associated with numerous organizational factors ranging from leadership to job design. Job satisfaction is ஏதோ வேலை பண்றான் வரங்கிறது I am not having job satisfaction. The two most common definition of job satisfaction: the pleasurable emotional state resulting from the appraisal of one's job as achieving or facilitating the achievement of one's job values. The extent to which people like, that is satisfaction, or dislike their jobs. Sir, every day I don't have job satisfaction. In general, most definitions cover the affective feeling an employee has towards his job. Sir, very few people you can find job satisfaction. Besides this, attitude of their colleagues, pay or working condition, extent of the work outcomes, work outcome meets or exceed expectations, may determine the level of job satisfaction, level of concentration required for the job, level of supervision, and the task of importance. How satisfied are people in their jobs? Independent studies over the past 30 years generally indicate more workers are satisfied with their jobs than or not. 71 of the Indian employees surveyed are satisfied with their jobs. This is 8% higher than the Asia Pacific norms. 8% in the Asia Pacific norms is 79, but 71% of the Indian employees are satisfied with their jobs. Indian employees are satisfied with the teamwork between co-workers. Global study of job satisfaction level of workers in 15 countries, highest level appears in US and Europe. This is taken some years, like 10 years back. Eastern cultures find negative emotions less aversive than individuals in Western cultures embraces positive emotions and individuals' happiness. There are countries where people work not for salary, just they get their food. Zambia, some countries, I don't know what is the exact name. What ladies say, she's working, there's no salary, but why are you working? At least I get my food here. They provide food for her. That is the remuneration she gets for the job. Otherwise, she won't get food in her home. This food I'm getting. Theories of job satisfaction. Job satisfaction theories have a strong overlap with the theories explaining human motivation. Most common and prominent theories are Maslow's needs hierarchy theory. This is very important. Hertzberg's motivator hygiene theory. This is very important. Job characteristics model and dispositional approach. Hierarchy needs. This is very important. Please listen carefully. Okay. Hierarchy of needs. Although commonly known in the human motivation literature, Maslow's needs hierarchy theory was one of the first theories to examine the important contributors to job satisfaction. The theory suggests human needs form a 5-level of hierarchy consist of physiological needs, safety needs, belonging and loveness, esteem, and self-actualization needs. This is called the pyramid. Maslow hierarchy needs postulates that there are essential needs that need to be met first, such as physiological needs and safety, before more complex needs can be made, such as belonging and esteem. In the pyramid போட்டு இத 1 2 3 4 இது எழுதினாலே உங்களுக்கு நிறைய இது மார்க் கொடுத்துருவாங்க. இதுதான். So first, this is the pyramid. One is physiological needs. You need food, water, shelter. Then safety, security, stability, freedom from fear. Belonging, acceptance, affection, affiliation. Then esteem need, approval, recognition, respect. Then you have the self-actualization need. Maslow's hierarchy needs. The main tenets of Maslow's needs hierarchy are used to explain job satisfaction. Within an organization, financial compensation and healthcare are some of the benefits which help an employee meet their basic psychological needs, physiological needs. Adhanalda, there are a lot of people from north are coming here. அவங்க சாப்பாடு கூட அங்க கிடைக்க மாட்டேங்குது. From Bihar, Tripura, Manipur, all those people are coming here. At least they get தங்கறதுக்கு இடம் கொடுத்து 100 ரூபாய் 200 ரூபாய். People who are mostly affected are during the COVID period. Without thinking their path, just நம்ம இங்க இடத்த விட்டு போலாம்னு people went away. They felt very bad. இங்க வாங்கி இந்த சம்பளத்துக்கு 1/4% சம்பளம் கூட அங்க உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கும். இங்க ஒரு நாளைக்கு 600 ரூபாய் 700 ரூபாய் வாங்கி இருந்தவன் அங்க போனா 100 ரூபாய் தான் அவனுக்கு கொடுத்தாங்க. 100 ரூபாய்க்கு கம்மி, அதுவும் கிடைக்கல வேலை. இங்க சாப்பாடு எல்லாமே கிடைச்சது. They did a big mistake, fearing that nothing will be available. அதோட உலகம் போயிடுச்சுன்னு நினைச்சுட்டு எல்லாரும் வண்டியில இடிச்சு நடந்து போயிட்டு எப்படியா நம்ம ஊருக்கு போகலான்னு சொல்லிட்டு போனவங்க they all suffered, especially in Maharashtra. Lot of people went. Safety needs can manifest itself through employees feeling physically safe in their work environment, as well as job security, and are having suitable company structures and policies. When this is satisfied, the employee can focus on feelings as though they belong to a workplace. நம்மளுக்கு சாப்பாடு கிடைச்சது, இடம் கிடைச்சது, வீட்டுக்கு அனுப்பி இதுக்கு இதுதான் என்னோட முதலாளிக்கு இதுவா இருக்கும். So that is what they take into consideration. This can come in the form of positive relationship with the colleagues and supervisors in the workplace, and whether or not they feel they are part of the team or the organization. Once satisfied, the employee feel as though they are valued and appreciated by their colleague and their organization. The final step is where the employee seeks to self-actualize. Self-actualization, அவனே கடை ஆரம்பிக்கிறது, அவனே முதலாளி ஆகிறது. When they need to grow and develop in order to become everything they are capable of becoming. எனக்கு கார் ஓரணும், எனக்கு இது ஓரணும், everything they are capable of making it. That is the self-actualization stage. Although it can be seen as separate, the progression, the progression from one step to the next, all contribute to the post of self-actualization. Still psychology, physiological needs on water, food, shelter. If you satisfy the satisfaction, next is security, stability, freedom from fear. Apram belong, yes, even நம்ம company acceptance, affection, affiliation, approval, recognition, respect. Finally, self-actualization. அவனுக்கு என்ன வேணுமோ அது அவனுக்கு கிடைச்சிடும். அவனே he'll become the owner, he'll become the thing, he'll get house, he'll get everything. What he wants is self-actualization. So இதை எழுதிட்டு இதுதான் Maslow's hierarchical theory. Therefore, Organization looking to improve employees' job satisfaction should attempt to meet the basic needs of employees before progressing to address higher order needs. That is what எல்லா ஆர்கனைசேஷனும் காலையில பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட், மத்தியானம் சாப்பாடு, சாயங்காலம் ஸ்நாக்ஸ், அப்புறம் நைட் டியூட்டி இருந்தா அவங்களுக்கு டின்னர். எதுவுமே சும்மா கொடுக்க கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு பேருக்கு 15 பைசாக்கு டீ, 10 பைசா இதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு டோக்கன் கொடுத்துட்டு அவங்க இதுல இருந்து கொஞ்சம் அமௌண்ட் டிடக்ட் பண்ற மாதிரி. பிகாஸ் எவ்ரி திங் இஸ் ப்ரொவைடட் பை தி கம்பெனி. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் டிவிஎஸ் எல்லாம் போனீங்கன்னா அந்த சாப்பாடு வந்து ரொம்ப ஃபேண்டஸ்டிக். ஈவன் அவங்க தட்டு கிளீன் பண்றதுல கூட மிஷின் கிளீன் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும். பெஸ்ட் குட் ஃபுட் they'll give the good food, good breakfast. 5 பைசா வடை, 4 பைசா இது. அந்த காலத்துல சொல்லுவாங்க 10 பைசா சார் வடை. இப்போ see, I work for the Shankar Nitra tech session. Their coffee for the staff is only 7 rupees. Previously it was 5 rupees. After 7 rupees. Others for patients were different amount. For the faculty and staff it's a very less amount. That is the motivation they give. First, basic needs of employees. காலையில breakfast, மத்தியான சாப்பாடு, good சாப்பாடு they give to they take care of the employees. However, recently this approach is becoming less popular as it fails to consider the cognitive reasoning process of the employee and in general lacks empirical supporting evidence. Actually, the reason is become unpopular because what is the reasoning process of the employee and in general lacks empirical supporting. Empirical support. Besides this, others have found fault with final stage of self-actualization. The lack of a clear definition and conceptual understanding of self-actualization, along with the difficulty of measuring it, makes it difficult to measure the final goal or when it has been achieved. This criticism. This is criticism of the thing. Recently this approach becoming less popular, fails to consider cognitive reasoning process of the employee, and in general lacks empirical support, numerical support, statistical support. இவ்வளவு அமௌண்ட் தான் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணாங்க, இவ்வளவு இது பண்றாங்கன்றதுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு நியூமெரிக்கல் சப்போர்ட் கிடையாது. ஆக்சுவலி எவ்வளவு அமௌண்ட் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணாங்கன்றதுக்கெல்லாம் சப்போர்ட்டிங் ரீசன்ஸ் எவிடன்ஸ் கிடையாது. சொல்றாங்க நாங்க இவ்வளவு பேர் சாப்பாடு போடுறோம், பட் எவ்வளவு பண்றாங்க எது பண்றாங்க கரெக்டா தான். ஃபைனல் ஸ்டேஜ் ஆஃப் செல்ஃப் ஆக்சுவலைசேஷன் எவ்வளவு பேர் fall with the final stage of self-actualization. In the theory, next is hygiene theory, motivator hygiene theory. It's the Hertzberg theory or X and Y theory. Hertzberg's motivator hygiene theory suggests that job satisfaction and dissatisfaction, they are not two opposite ends of the same band, same continuum, but instead they are two separate and at times even unrelated concept. Satisfaction and dissatisfaction, satisfaction opposite kadadu and ends of the same idula irukkuradhu kadadu, but they are two separate and even unrelated concept. Motivating factors, that is pay and benefits, recognition and achievements, need to be met in order for an employee to be satisfied with the work. ஒரு எம்ப்ளாயி சாட்டிஸ்ஃபைடா இருக்கிறான்னா அவனுடைய சம்பளம் இருக்கணும், அவனுக்கு ரெகக்னேஷன் இருக்கணும், அவனுக்கு அச்சீவ்மெண்ட் இருக்கும் அண்ட் அச்சீவ்மெண்ட். ஆன் தி அதர் ஹேண்ட், hygienic factors, working conditions, company policies, structure, job security, interaction with the colleagues, and quality of management are associated with job dissatisfaction. Sir, சம்பளம் கொடுக்குறாங்க சார். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஐசிஐசிஐ பேங்க்ல எம்ப்ளாயின் இருப்பேன், சம்பளம் எங்கேயாவது ஒரு மூலையில் தான் போனா யூ கோ அண்ட் சிட் இன் த கேண்டீன் ஃபார் சம் டைம். ஜாப் இன்னும் உங்களுக்கு அலர்ட் ஆகலை. பெஞ்சிங், ஒர்க்கிங் கண்டிஷன் சரியா இருக்காது. எவ்வளோ தூரம் அங்கே போனோன்னா ஆஃபீஸில் ஃபேன்லாம் இருக்காது, சேலரிலாம் இருக்கும், இதெல்லாம் இருக்கும். கம்பெனி பாலிசிஸ் அண்ட் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர். There are, I don't want to mention the name of the colleges. There are colleges which வெளியில பார்க்கும்போது பெருசா இருக்கும், உள்ள அவங்களுக்குலாம் நாய் மதிக்கிற கூட மதிக்க மாட்டாங்க ஃபேக்கல்டி. ஸோ கம்பெனி பாலிசி அண்ட் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர், ஜாப் செக்யூரிட்டி, எனி டைம் நாளைக்கு காலையில வந்து ஏன் நீ சார் நீ இந்த மாதிரி வளர்த்து ஒருத்தனுக்கு வந்து தாடி வச்சிருந்தானா ஒரு பிடிக்காது சேர்மனுக்கு. நீ இல்ல இந்த இதெல்லாம் எனக்கு புரிய நீ வேலையில விட்டு போயிடுப்பா, நீ ஜஸ்ட் கெட் அவுட் ஆஃப் த ஜாப் இமீடியட்டா. அன்னைக்கு சாயங்காலமே அவன் வந்து வெளியில விட்டு போகணும். there is no agreement. இது அதெல்லாம் உண்மை கிடையாது. நெக்ஸ்ட் டே எனி டைம் வின்ஸ் அண்ட் ஃபைனான்சஸ் ஆஃப் த சேர்மன் he may be sent out just because அவருக்கு வந்து கிளீன் ஷேவ் ஆயிட்டு விபூதி வச்சு பொட்டு வச்சு அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் இருந்தது அவருக்கு பிடிக்கும். அவருக்கு இந்த மாதிரி இருந்தா பிடிக்காது, டக்குன்னு அனுப்பிச்சிட்டாரு. there are people who left the job just because of this thing. On the other hand, hygienic factors are working conditions, company policies, structure, job security, interaction with the colleagues. அங்க போனா நம்ம பாட்டு பாருங்க, யாரோடையும் பேச முடியாது, யாரோடையும் இவங்ககிட்ட பேசினா அவனை பத்தி போட்டு கொடுத்துருவான். Quality of management, they are all associated with the job satisfaction, dissatisfaction. Dissatisfied, neutral, and satisfied. Both hygiene and motivational factors are viewed independent. It is possible that employees are neither satisfied nor dissatisfied. This theory postulates that when hygiene factors are low, the employee is dissatisfied. But when these factors are high, it means that the employee is not dissatisfied or neutral, but not necessarily satisfied. Satisfied சொல்ல முடியாது or neutral, but dissatisfied கிடையாது. Theory என்ன சொல்றது? Hygienic factors are low, employee dissatisfied. But hygienic factors எல்லாம் ஹையா இருந்தானே, it means the employee is not dissatisfied, but not necessarily satisfied. Job characteristic model, JCM. The job characteristic model explains that satisfaction occurs when the work environment encourages intrinsically motivating characteristics. 5 kind of job characteristics: skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback. The 5 characteristics are influence 3 psychological states, core job dimensions, critical psychological states, personal and work outcomes. Subsequently, these psychosocial states then lead to a number of potential outcomes, including job satisfaction. Therefore, from an organization point of view, it is thought by improving the 5 core job dimensions will subsequently lead to a better work environment and increased job satisfaction. Core job dimension, critical psychological states, personal and work outcomes, skill variety, task identity and task significance, meaningfulness of work, then responsibility of the outcomes, knowledge of the results, high internal work, motivation, high quality performance, and high satisfaction with work, low absenteeism. Unlike Maslow's or Herzberg's theory, the job JCM model received more empirical support. Job characteristics model. Criticism. Job characteristic model investigates direct impact core job dimensions have on personal or work outcomes, completely disregarding the critical psychological states. JCM's impact on job satisfaction has been the subject of 3 reviews, which further lead to support the model. Behenson and colleagues meta-analysis of 13 studies specifically focused on the role of the critical psychological states and found these psychological states to play a crucial practical and theoretical role with job characteristics model. Dispositional approach. Dispositional approach suggests that job satisfaction is closely related to personality. It postulates that an individual has a strong predisposition towards a certain level of job satisfaction, they remain fairly constant and stable across time. The evidence for this approach can be divided into direct studies and indirect studies and direct studies. Judge and colleagues have reviewed these areas in great details. The indirect evidence comes from the studies that do not explicitly measure personality. Data from national longitudinal studies in US found that measures of job satisfaction tend to remain fairly stable over 3 and 5 year period. This includes significant employment changes, changes in employer or occupation. Interestingly, twin-based study examined 34 twins. Twin-based study whom had been raised independently of one another found genetic factors accounted for 30% of job satisfaction level. The indirect studies, however, are vulnerable to a number of important criticisms, namely that other unaccounted factors might be contributing to job satisfaction levels. So, in learn job satisfaction, I'll send on. See, this next is the measurement of job satisfaction. The measurement of job satisfaction can be classified into 3 different methods. One is single question, global measurement, and facet measurement. Single questions ask only one question as an indication of how satisfied an employee is at work, commonly found in large surveys, the US National Longitudinal Survey. The survey asks, how do you feel about the job you have now? And requires respondents to answer on a scale. Well, it is very much, like it fairly well, dislike it somewhat, dislike it very much. Despite the assumption that having more questions can obtain more objective and accurate result, as well as being less prone to error, research solely has shown that asking a single question, either on overall job satisfaction or on individual facets of job satisfaction, can be equally as significant. நிறைய கொஸ்டின் கேட்கலாம், ஆனால் இதுவும் ஒரு single question is more effective than asking a lot of other questions. Proponents of this approach, people who support this approach, believe that employees generally know how happy they are, and therefore there is little point in asking multiple questions about the same thing. தெரியும் நீ ஹாப்பியா இருக்கியா இல்லைன்னு ஒரே கொஸ்டின் கேட்கலாம், அவனுக்கு நிறைய கொஸ்டினை கேட்டு சொல்றேன். The global measurement seeks to obtain a single score representing the overall job satisfaction an employee has. Several questions or statements provided relating to different aspects of work, such as pay, work activities, working condition, career prospects, but combines them to provide an overall score. On the other hand, facet measurements have questions or items for these different areas and provides one score to represent each area. Established global measures include the job satisfaction scale and the overall job satisfaction scale, while the job description index is one established basic measure. The availability of diverse job satisfaction and measurement means those intending to measure this concept have the option of choosing a particular measure which best fits their purpose. However, the multiple options can make comparison difficult, while a poor choice of measurement can lead to unreliable or invalid outcomes. Issues with measurements. Despite the availability of questions and measures for assessing job satisfaction, there are few issues that need to be taken into consideration when selecting a suitable measures on when interpreting the result. The prolific number of measures of job satisfaction has raised issues surrounding the reliability and validity of them. நிறைய number of measures of job satisfaction இருந்தாலும், what is the issue surrounding reliability and validity? இதெல்லாம் எவ்வளவு reliable, எவ்வளவு validity? This is further complicated when assessing across different culture, languages, and ages, as they all can confound the result of time. Different culture, different language, different age, இதெல்லாம் confused ஆயிட்டு result they all confound the results of blind time. Reliability and validity. So job satisfaction measure பண்றது எது reliability involvement. The popularity of job satisfaction lead to numerous measures being created for this concept. Unfortunately, many of them are simply not sufficiently valid or reliable. Numerous measures created, but reliable இருக்குதான்னா the measure might not accurately measure job satisfaction, or that it is not able to provide consistent result. For example, I'll tell you, எங்க இன்ஸ்டியூட்ல எப்படி எம்ப்ளாயிஸ் எல்லாம் எப்படி இருக்கிறாங்க, they are satisfied with இதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ஒரு ஹியூமன் ரிசோர்ஸஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சு. people never went அவங்க ஒருத்தரா கூப்பிட்டு எப்படி இருக்கீங்க எப்படி இருக்கீங்கன்னு கேட்டாங்க. அவங்க டைரக்டர் வீட்டிலே தங்கி இருக்கிறாங்க. அவங்க வந்து நான் இவர் இப்படி சொல்றாரு அப்படின்னு சொல்ல மாட்டாங்களா? யார் வாய்க்கு வந்து சார் இவர் சரியில்லை, டைரக்டர் சரியில்லை, இவர் இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறாரு, அவர் அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறாரு, அவர் அவங்க கிட்ட ஒரு மாதிரி இருக்கிறாரு, ஒன் சைடடா இருக்கு, இதெல்லாம் சொல்லுவாங்களா? ஸோ இட் வாஸ் ஃபவுண்ட் டு பி வெரி வெரி நாட் எஃபெக்டிவ். அவங்க வந்து அங்கே உட்காந்துட்டு கொஸ்டின்லாம் கேட்டாங்க, இது பண்ணாங்க, உட்காந்து இன்டர்வியூலாம் பண்ணாங்க. பட் ஸ்டில் பீப்புள் செட் நான்சென்ஸ். ஹவு கேன் பீப்புள் வில் கம் அண்ட் டெல் when she is residing in your home, அவர் இண்டிபெண்டா இருக்கு, யாருக்கு என்ன இது நம்பிக்கை வரும் அவங்க கிட்ட சொல்லலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு. Van Shen and colleagues reviewed 29 commonly used job satisfaction measures they found in the academic literature. Examining the validity, that it does it measure what is supposed to, and reliability, how consistent are the result on the measures of the reviewed measures. The study found that only 7 measures were found to be adequate validity and reliability, and the 29 consequently those intending to measure job satisfaction have to ensure the measure being used has been shown to both reliable and valid. Cross-cultural issues, organizations and practitioners that work across different national and cultural boundaries have to be aware of the suitability of the chosen measure to particular. இப்போ பாகிஸ்தான், இந்தியா, டிஃப்ரெண்ட் வேரியஸ் கண்ட்ரீஸ்ல ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷன் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். அங்க பாகிஸ்தான்ல இருக்கிறவங்க வேற மாதிரி சொல்லுவோம், இந்தியாவில் இருக்கிறவங்க வேற மாதிரி இருக்கும், டர்க்கியில இருக்கிறவங்க வேற மாதிரி, டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பிளேசஸ் இருக்கு, டிஃப்ரெண்ட் திங்ஸ். Using a different measure for each workforce makes comparison more difficult. A multinational organization, Amazon, different countryல இருக்கு, different country situation ஏத்த மாதிரி மாறினே இருக்கும். So ஒவ்வொரு கண்ட்ரிக்கும் ஒரு measure மெத்தட் difficult. However, the use of the same measure across different countries can be problematic as different workforce interpret it differently. The use of any scales across national boundaries raises various issues, and users of job satisfaction scale should bear in mind how two particular issues, language and culture, might affect the result. Language has a powerful influence on how individuals perceive their reality, as various languages bring about different labels for concepts and objects. Language different perspectives. Britishers இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் நம்மளுக்கு கொடுக்கும்போது, நம்மளுக்கு இந்தியாவுக்கு கொடுக்கலாம் இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ், 563 பிரின்ஸ்லி ஸ்டேட்ஸ் இருந்தது பாரு, அவங்க தான் கொடுத்துட்டு போனாங்க. ஏன்னா அவன் நினைச்சான் இந்த 563 டிஃப்ரெண்ட் லாங்குவேஜ், டிஃப்ரெண்ட் கல்ச்சர், டிஃப்ரெண்ட், இவங்க ஒன்னா சேர மாட்டாங்க, அதனால இவங்களுக்கு திருப்பி ப்ராப்ளம் தான் வரும்னு நினைச்சுட்டு போனாங்க. பட் சர்தார் வல்லபாய் பட்டேல் united all the princely states together and made it as an independent India. So when using two separate countries which speak the same language, for example, UK and Australia, there are fewer issues than when the measure is presented in different language. Similar language, similar understanding, translation not required. This avoids having discrepancy between the original, the translated version can affect the meaning of the measure, either due to lack of a compatible vocabulary or because of poor translation. However, when a scale of the same language is administered in two different countries, can lead to respondents with the different values understanding the scales differently. How ratings are interpreted is impacted by culture. Riordan and Vanderberg found a rating of 4 on a 1 to 7 point scale had different meaning to Koreans and Americans. rating of 4, number 4 rating on a 1 to 7 point scale are different meaning to Koreans and different meaning to Americans. Despite these issues, there are job satisfaction measures that has been demonstrated to be reliable and valid across different languages and cultures. Example, Ryan and others found similar satisfaction scores when respondents from US and Australia completed the same measure in English. Across languages, the Nordic Employee Index, Norway, consistently assesses job satisfaction across Nordic nations, Sweden, Norway, Austria. Similarly, Liu and others examined the German job satisfaction surveys filled out by employees in 18 countries in German, English, and Spanish. They found similarities across countries which have the same language or a similar cultural background. Age. Maybe this is the last 2 slides. Okay. The relationship between job satisfaction and age has shown to have a U or positive relationship. In the U relationship, higher satisfaction in early and later career is separated with a dip in the middle. Using a sample of over 5,000 employees in the UK, Clark and colleagues found that job satisfaction was high among those in their teens and then went down when they were between 20 and 30, increased again in their 40s to the same level as those in their teens and progressing higher in their 50s and 60s. Alternatively, some have shown gradually. Both approaches demonstrate higher satisfaction in the older age, which could be due to a number of reasons, including that older employees might have lowered their expectation over time and learn to be more satisfied. Unhappy older employees may be more likely to take early retirement and leave the workforce, leaving the more satisfied older employees. Older employees would have had more time to change jobs and end up in position where they are happy with. Due to lack of longitudinal studies, the difference between the younger and older employees might be due to the generational difference. So conclusion, job satisfaction impacts every employee across the globe, and it has received a lot of attention in the research literature. This leads to a large number of definitions, theories, and measures. At a European level, the focus of job satisfaction has been on the work stress and job-oriented control model. Care needs to be taken on the numerous ill-fitting theories and measurements which can harm understanding of job satisfaction. It is also important to be aware on how job satisfaction impacts on work health and productivity. Okay, now how many of you are able to understand? Are you able to understand some of the important OB? I shall give you my mail ID and you can send to me. I will PPT. Please, as advised, the director is answer the assignments. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Sir, audible, sir.
Oh, good, good. இப்போ நான் இதுவும் இது
Yes, sir,
ஆடியோ
audible, sir.
ஹலோ மைக் ஃபார் அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் நான் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். அது பண்ணிட்டேன் போல இருக்கு. சரி, இப்போ வந்து புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா உங்களுக்கு?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's very important, not only from the these are all not only from the examination point of view. Since you are going to be in the organization,
Yes, sir.
these are very important. I have taken notes from quite a lot of books and things like that and prepared the notes. நான் இதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு அனுப்புறேன் நானு.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
ஏற்கனவே நீங்க இந்த கிளாஸ்ல லாஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்ல வந்தவங்களா என்னன்னு தெரியல. லாஸ்ட்
இல்ல
கிளாஸ்ல
sir, இப்போ எல்லாரும்
வராதவங்க மெயில் ஐடி
No,
கொடுத்துருக்கேன்.
sir, first time.
இல்ல sir, last time late sir.
சண்டே அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணாங்க பாருங்க.
managerial economics importance
அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கேன்
sir.
மேனேஜர் சப்ஜெக்ட் இருக்குன்னு அனுப்ப முடியும். அதுக்கு அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கிறேன். உங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் 50 பேர் என்கிட்ட இருக்கிறாங்க. அவங்கள ஒரு குரூப் மாதிரி பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கிறேன். அது அது எனக்கு வந்து இமெயில் ஐடி கொடுத்துருக்கிறேன். இந்த அதுல நீங்க அனுப்புங்க. இதுல சேட்ல என்னால எப்படி பண்ண முடியும்
சார்? இன்னொரு டைம் மெயில் ஐடி சென்ட் பண்ண முடியுமா சார்?
மெயில் ஐடி ஷேர். நீங்க மெயில் ஐடி எனக்கு என்ன மெயில் ஐடி திருப்பி வேணுமா உங்களுக்கு?
எஸ் சார்.
சேட்ல போடுறேன். சேட்ல போடுறேன் என்னோட மெயில் ஐடியா mse.ac.in. இதுக்கு அனுப்புங்க. நான் உங்களுக்கு நேம்லாம் ஆட் பண்ணிடுறேன் அதுல.
ஓகே சார்.
ஓகேங்களா? சரி.
சார் என்ரோல்மெண்ட் நம்பரோட உங்களுக்கு அனுப்புமா சார்?
அதெல்லாம் வேணாங்க. ஜஸ்ட் சென்ட் யுவர் மெயில் ஐடி. என்ரோல்மெண்ட் நம்பர்ல எனக்கு எதுக்கு? மெயில் ஐடி அனுப்புங்க. அந்த உங்க மெயில் ஐடியை நான் என்னோட குரூப் ஒன்று வச்சிருக்கேன். 50 பேர் இருக்காங்க அதுல உங்களுக்கு ஆட் பண்ணிட்டு உங்களுக்கு நடத்தின 3 செக்ஷன் நடத்தின இல்லையா? பர்சனாலிட்டி, லீடர்ஷிப், மோட்டிவேஷன் 3 அனுப்பிச்சிடுறேன். அப்புறம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சாப்டர் ஆர்கனைசேஷனல் பிஹேவியர்னா என்னன்னு இருக்க ஒரு சாப்டர் இருக்கும். அதுவும் உங்களுக்கு அனுப்பிச்சிடுறேன். டாக்டர் எஸ் Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Antunga, I will send you the notes. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Okay,
All
sir.
the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Attendance இங்க இருக்கு.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. சரி.
சார் அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் லிங்க் அனுப்புவீங்களா சார்?
எனக்கு எதுல என்ன அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் லிங்க்னு எனக்கு தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது.
மார்னிங் வந்து அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் லிங்க் ஒன்னு அனுப்புனாங்க சார். அட்டெண்டன்ஸ்க்கு
சார் ஃபோர்னூன் செஷனுக்கு சொல்லிட்டு பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு லிங்க் ஒன்னு அனுப்புனாங்க சார். அதுல வந்து சரிங்க சார்.
அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் ஒன்னு இருக்கு.
இல்ல சார், ஃபோர்னூன் செஷனுக்கு ஒரு லிங்க் ஒன்னு அனுப்பிச்சாங்க அட்டெண்டன்ஸ்க்கு. அதே மாதிரி ஆஃப்டர்நூன் செஷனுக்கும் அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் லிங்க் எதனா இருந்ததுன்னா நீங்க அனுப்பி விடுங்க சார். கொஞ்சம் ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும்.
சரி, எனக்கு ஒன்றும் அவங்க எதுவும் அனுப்பல. அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் லிங்க் நான் கேட்குறேன் அவங்கள. அவங்க கேட்டு உங்களுக்கு
சரிங்க சார்.
ஓகே.
ஓகே சார்.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sridega.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Reshma.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Next class வந்து நாளைக்கு. Tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Tomorrow managerial economics. Economics, afternoon. நம்ம நேஷனல் இன்கம் பத்தி டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணோம்.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.